All right, all right, all right. Now we should be cooking with peanut oil. We should be good now, signal-wise. Shouldn't have any more issues. So, what's going on, Eugene? Y'all are in for a treat today. The first recruit that we were interviewing in the history of the program. We've interviewed athletes that are currently in college. We've interviewed former assistant athletic directors, but never a three-star offensive lineman from the great state of Mississippi, DJ Dotson. Why is it wanting? Signal needs to quit playing games with me. I got things to do. I've got things to do today, dadgummit. Let's see. Cousin Maddox, what's going on? I need everybody to like the live some more. There we go. Just shared it out to DJ. This ought to be a big interview, y'all. I'm very excited for the opportunity to talk to DJ Dotson today, a consensus three-star prospect in the class of 2027 from the great state of Mississippi. DJ is committed to the University of Georgia, and there's nobody in the live right now, but we can, once we get some people in here, I'll invite DJ up into the box. And we'll get this interview rocking, y'all. So hit that like button if you're just tuning in. Very excited. DJ knows, what to expect from the interview today. I find they go better that way when you do that. Hopefully the signal's not too bad. And y'all can hear me pretty good. Y'all let me know in the chat how everything's looking, how everything's sounding. And once we get to like a 500 likes, we'll start this interview off, man. Haven't done an interview in a minute. This is a historic day in the history of the company. First high school recruit we've interviewed. This is a very it's something I'm very grateful for. Like, damn, they've done interviews before. Interviewed people that have literally coached in the SEC, but to have an SEC commit on the program today, it's big, man. And all the glory goes to Jesus Christ for it. At the end of the day, I am only able to do what the Lord Jesus allows me to do. You know what I mean, y'all? At the end of the day, without the Lord Jesus waking us up today, there is no interview to be had. Without the Lord Jesus waking us up today, we found out the gender of baby busted knee yesterday. So that's awesome. Shout out to Finding Tiger legend, Trey Morgan, for signing the ball to baby. So that was cool. Shout out to Trey when I get ready to tell. I don't even know. It maybe just be like a Friends of BKS find out the gender type deal. And then I post it on like normal social media like folks do. But not sure how I want to go about that. Obviously, I'm not the one growing the child inside of my body. So there's a decision that'll have to be made there in conjunction with somebody else. Okay. But crap, I dropped you. Without further ado, sent DJ the invite. Let's start it out because I'm gonna clip it and do my thing after the fact. Good morning. Good morning.
What's going on? How you doing?
You doing all right today, brother?
Sir.
It's a beautiful day in the great state of Mississippi, ain't it? It's hot. It's already hot, man. Oak Grove. You play at Oak Grove High School in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Are you from there? Did you move there? How'd you end up in Hattiesburg?
I'm actually from Hattiesburg. My mom was from Mississippi. My dad's from Louisiana. You know, they met down here, so I just been here my whole life.
That's cool. My wife almost went to Southern Miss. That was where she was going to go to school at before she decided to go do her own thing and go into business for herself. But man, I appreciate the opportunity, DJ. Man, I know I was texting you last night on Instagram. I was looking at your teammates' film, man. Y'all are good. Y'all got some dogs. I mean, two Power 4 commits, one on each side of the ball. Your quarterback had big time offers, but chose a small D1. You got Josiah. He's committed to Troy. I got a couple friends of BKS down there at Troy. So we big Troy Trojan people here at Busted Knee Sports. So I guess how are you doing this morning? We'll start there and then we'll get into the outline that I sent you, brother.
I'm doing pretty good this morning. Thank you for having me here. Can't complain. God woke me up this morning, so it's a great day.
It is. It's a beautiful day. I appreciate you being a friend of the program, man. You popped up on my TikTok a few months ago before you were even committed to Georgia, when you still had some offers, and man, it broke my heart. And that's the best thing about it. Now let's talk about your recruiting process. You are a University of Georgia commit. When Hayes Fawcett's posted about it, they said you picked the Dogs over LSU, Georgia Tech, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State were your other offers. So why Georgia? And explain your recruiting process. Because as an LSU fan, when I saw you pick Georgia, I was like, come on, man, Lane, man. Like, I got Go tattooed on my skin. I'm a little partial, But let's talk about that.
I feel like my recruiting process was also a slow start. I feel like I don't think it was where it should have been, but it ended up going how I wanted to go. Georgia offered me after I went to a camp in the summertime. I went out at this for a camp. They offered me. They was on me ever since then. So I feel like Georgia was the best decision for me. With the development they have. The coaching staff. So I feel like them are all factors that I was looking to when it was time for me to pick a school. So I feel like that was the best option for me. Growing up, my dream school, my favorite school was LSU, but LSU didn't offer me till like later on in my process. So it was harder for them to try to catch up and stuff to like all my other schools. So I feel like that was a big factor also. So if they was probably in earlier in my recruiting process, things could have been differently, but they came in real late. So yeah, but in there, I'm still glad my decision was Georgia.
Okay, so you want to go to Georgia because you want to be developed. Because you see what Georgia does, man. I made the mistake last year not thinking Georgia was going to be all that great, and then you see what they do. Like, Kirby Smart, I really think, is one of the best motivators of young men in the country. Mm-hmm. Kirby Smart is a guy that he may dog you, but that man dogs you because he loves you. He happens to know a friend of the program, Tyler Siskey, real well. Tyler Siskey coached at Ole Miss, coached at Alabama under Saban. And it seems like Siskey is one of those guys. Heck, Siskey was almost at the Georgia staff when COVID happened, but he ended up not doing that way. So LSU offered you late. So you talk about your recruiting process not going initially the way you wanted it to. From a standpoint of you didn't get offers early, like you anticipated, or well, because you're going into your senior year with an SEC top 10 team in the country commitment beside your name.
Yeah, sir. I feel like other guys in my positions, they got off to a hot start. Me not so much, but I think that came in from the lack of playing time from my sophomore season. So I couldn't complain about it, but it still ended up going the way I wanted. It was just from the initial start. Yes, sir.
Okay, man. It's tough to hear. Maybe if LSU wasn't in a coaching transition, we could have got old DJ in purple and gold and been a part of hopefully what Lane Kiffin's building. I like to hear that, man. So what was it about Georgia Tech that you liked? Because if you consider Georgia Tech, was it just because you were offered by Tech, or what was it about Georgia Tech that had a little bit of your interest there? Because I like Brent Key from the outside looking in.
I really like the Georgia Tech. I like the new coach. So when Georgia Tech offered me, the old O-line coach offered me, and he's in Nebraska now. Okay. So when the new O-line coach came, he called me. He told me Brent Key was he told me that Brent Key said I'm the first guy that he need to contact. If like he was on me every day, he called about every day. He came to see me about 3-4 times in the off season. Like he came down and Hattiesburg about 3-4 times. Come see me work out, come talk to me. And I feel like it was just a consistency of him talking, and I like the program, and I like the stuff that they're building and the plan that they have for Georgia Tech in the future.
I like the way I've talked about this a lot. I kind of have quit mentioning the whole I'm a blue collar guy trying to grow a sports media company as much. But in the trenches, right, is where you win and lose games. The way that Georgia Tech plays, that tenacity, that physicality, that at the line of scrimmage, you are not beating them and they're just going to run it and run it and run it. I like that, man. Is that what it was for you, or was it like, is that where your brain was at with the physicality, the way they play, or what was it? What was it about Georgia that made Georgia and Georgia Tech? Like, what was the difference there that made you choose Georgia over Tech?
I feel like the coaching staff, Georgia has had the same coaching staff, like in the offensive line room for like many years now. Um, Also Georgia Tech, like Coach Brent Keys being an offensive line guy, so he's gonna run the ball, all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, Georgia's also a pro. They use a pro scheme, NFL type offense, So I feel like that could potentially prepare me for the next step after Georgia.
Okay. Yeah, it's all about getting to the next level. You know what I mean? We're the great state of Mississippi. People like to get out of it for a reason. Per capita, the state of Mississippi produces the most NFL people. And as somebody whose birth certificate says the state of Mississippi, or somebody that just bought a house in the state of Mississippi, I can tell you, people want to get out of Mississippi. Okay, it's that drive to get out, right? So what is it about playing football that you love the most? You play tackle. You play a position that is physically demanding every single snap. Especially with you being a Georgia commit, these schools that you're going to play that we're going to talk about here in a little bit, they know your name. They know that Georgia commit. They see that star name. They want to, you're a focal point for these defensive attacks. What is it about playing football that you love the most?
So I feel like football, it challenges me every day. It pushes me to be mentally and physically stronger. Even if I don't end up making it in football, I'm still gonna have that mentality to work harder, to try to be the best. Anything I do, just that mentality that a lot of people don't have. So I feel like that's what football gives you, just to work harder, get up every day. That mentality and that mindset you have. I feel like football gives you that, and I feel like that's why I love football so much.
Not everybody has that mindset, DJ. That may be a mindset that you just blessed to have, young man, because not everybody has it. Because you hear about guys that have got more talent. Like, there are guys that I went to high school with that are more talented than the players that made it farther. They just didn't have the want to. You have the want to, and that's what I like to hear, man. I'm sure that's what your teammates like to hear. That's what I want to talk about next. Is when I was looking into you, man, I was like, okay, what's DJ about? What's his team about? Y'all have 4 total 3-stars on the team. You got Devin Robertson, who was a highly recruited defensive lineman committed to Oklahoma. Y'all all recently committed, it looks like all of y'all within the last month or so committed. You are committed to Georgia. Josiah Barnes, he's a safety. He's a 3-star. He's committed to Troy. Already mentioned him. I like the way he plays. And Kellen Hall, your quarterback, man, I was watching him. That young man's got some arm talent now. That young man has got some arm talent. The way I'm not Italian, I got a friend of the program that's a talent evaluator, and I want to see what he thinks about him. But the way I watch Kellen, if that young man could put on some weight, he'd be real special. So, how does that help you guys in practice? Does that help you get that much better? Because Devin is another Power 4 guy. He's another SEC guy that, you see Venables is doing in Oklahoma. They produce dogs. They develop dogs. How does going against these guys in practice help you guys as a team and help you as an individual?
I feel like, practice against better people, iron sharpen iron, so iron sharpen iron. So I feel like going against the best of the best air practice is preparing you for the game, playing against good people. Even you go look on a skill player side, 7-on-7, they going at it every day. Defense might win, when that offense might win. At the end of the day, they continuously getting better, going against Josiah. He reading the Kellen offense. He reading how Kellen throw. All that's preparing him to play a great quarterback in the game. That's just making everybody better at the end of the day.
His arm talent, bro. Being around the game, covering the Memphis Hound Dogs, being this close to the game, it's a perspective that I didn't really have before. I had it because I went to school with 2 professional athletes. There's a guy we just that we graduated with that's in here now. Shout out to him. But we graduated with a guy that's in the big leagues, and we graduated with a guy that's on the practice squad in the CFL right now. They're those guys were different. You could tell. In baseball, it's easier to tell. There's a kid that played at Houston High School that's a friend of the program. Y'all play Houston, right? He played baseball. That kid's exit velos off of his bat are different. It's different when you see a guy like that. And if Kellen, man, I'm telling you, y'all got some pieces, man. Y'all got some pieces. And what's you guys' mindset for this season? You got beat in the second round of playoffs last year. Max Preps has y'all as the number 3 team in the state of Mississippi. We just talked about your recruiting process. We just talked about how iron sharpens iron, and going against these guys in practice makes you better, right? What is y'all's mindset going into the year?
You know, I feel like last season gave us a lot of motivation. You know, we got a lot of returning people. We returned almost all of our starters. You know, we lost about 2, 3 valuable people, but you know, we was able to replace that. You know, I feel like we're gonna be a lot more better, more mature. I feel like our confidence is way higher than it was last year. So we got put out second round, but you know, this year we all have the confidence and truly believe that we have the talent, everything it takes to go all the way this year.
Man, looking at your roster, man, y'all play what level? Explain Mississippi high school football levels like to me, right? Where you ain't got to get on some like deep synopsis about it, but like, what level do y'all play in, and what's the highest level?
We're 7A, and 7A is the highest. So I feel like 7A has the best teams, usually the best teams in Mississippi.
Okay, and that leads me to another question. Y'all play two of the biggest powerhouse schools in the state of Tennessee. You play Germantown at your place, and you come up here to West Tennessee, the Memphis area, and right on the edge of Collierville and Germantown, you got to play Houston. That's a game, like I told you about. I want to try to get up with you guys, with like you and multiple of your teammates, and try to come see y'all that night in person. You're going to be right down the block, but you know what I mean? I want to come see y'all play. How does playing against schools like Germantown and playing against schools like Houston prepare you guys as a team and prepare you as an individual? Because these are powerhouse schools that are putting guys on D1 rosters.
Right. I feel like playing against schools like Germantown and Houston. You know, Germantown, they beat us bad last year. Like they, they overpowered us. You know, they came in more hot than us. So I feel like we got a different mindset going into the game this year. Like they beat us last year, we got to come beat them this year. And I feel like that's just preparing us for the playoff run that we're planning on going on. So I feel like playing good teams like them, also like Starkville in the regular season, is just preparing us, get us more ready for the playoffs.
That's what it's about, man. A friend of the program is Keontae Newsom that played at Ball State. Ball State obviously plays a bunch of the Georgias. He forced a fumble against Georgia. And something he told me was like, you know, those games playing against the guys that are at the elite of the elite prepares you. It helps get you ready because, I mean, you think about it. It doesn't get any easier for you as an individual at the next level. It doesn't get any easier for you guys now. You know what I mean? So the better prepared you are, then you can look at it like, okay, Germantown beat the brakes off of y'all last year. Well, now you know. Now you know, well, hey, you know what? Now we may know a little bit of their tendencies. Assuming your coaching staff is worth their salt, they probably are. You're not the number 3 ranked team in the state for no reason. I feel like your coaches are going to give you, you know, the best position to succeed. And then that chip on the shoulder, man, that chip on the shoulder just, it does something for somebody. Like getting your ass whooped and then coming back the next year, like I can't let that happen again. Like human pride will get us in trouble a lot in this life. It really will. Pride is a terrible thing. But sometimes on a football field, man, it goes a long way. You know what I mean? It may make you go that much harder in practice that week. It may, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sir.
And I'm trying to think if there's anything like off the outline that's not on the outline that I'm thinking about as we get in to it. I tell you what, I didn't know PJ Woodland went to Oak Grove.
Yeah.
I didn't know PJ Woodland. Now PJ Woodland ran Ashton Stamps out of town. That's how good PJ Woodland is. Ashton Stamps led the SEC in pass breakups, and PJ Woodland said, "Deuces, you going out west, brother. This is my crib now." PJ Woodland, a dog, bro, certified. PJ Woodland, one of my favorite SEC DBs. Did you play with PJ?
Yeah, that was my freshman year. So when PJ was senior and they won state that year, I was a freshman. But I was almost all the games because in high school, his senior, he played both sides. And he was one of the best on both sides. Like he probably had finished the season around like 1,100 yards receiving. I can't remember how many touchdowns, but he was the number 1 receiver on our team and offensive threat on our team and number 1 defensive threat. You know, that's how impressive I was. I feel like he went to LSU and did the same thing, like a slot wide receiver. You feel me? So I feel like that's one of a lifetime opportunity. Get to watch him play in person all the time. You know, because he was definitely a great athlete in high school for sure.
I didn't know DJ. I didn't know he played both sides of the ball. Now
you gotta go turn that high school film. Go watch that senior season film. You're gonna be astonished.
You think that's what helps him be such a good DB? That and Coy Raymond in his ear being like, "This is what you do."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel like once you get off here, go watch his senior season film. It's great. You know, like you don't see, and then he was ranked a 3-star. But
Yeah,
I
well,
personally feel like, you go turn that film out, that's like 5-star film. You know?
he playing like it now. He
Yes, sir.
playing like it now. Boy, we might lose him at LSU after this year. That's how good he is. If he goes and puts a part of that. So let's see. I'm trying to think. Man, you're the first high school recruit I've had the opportunity to interview. Like I really appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. Like I really do. I appreciate you just as much, more than you can know. Honestly, this is a big time thing for me. So PJ Woodland played at Oak Grove, man. That's awesome. So the last thing, obviously, is on the outline that I sent you. I feel like I've gone fast, but not necessarily. I told you 15, 20 minutes or so. What are 3 fun facts about you that you think people should know?
I feel like I'm disciplined. You know, I feel like I'm resilient. No matter what challenge me, I feel like I'm gonna get back up, try it again, keep working. I ain't gonna give up. And I'm a team first person. You know, I put my team first. You know, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win. Yeah, sir. I feel like my sophomore season, I even played a little bit D-line just to try to help my team win. You know, just whatever it do to try to make my team better.
All right. You've been media trained. That's great. Now give me the 3 fun, like what's 3 things DJ Dotson likes to do? Like what's something like outside of sports? What are a couple things that make DJ, man? Like that's the kind of fun fact kind of stuff. Like, because people want to know, man. Like, I see these guys that I meet, and then like I met some of these LSU guys' parents, and I see them for their people, right? So what are 3 things outside of football that make DJ?
So my first sport was basketball. So
Yep.
this is like my first year not playing basketball. My junior season, my first year not playing basketball, but I still love playing basketball. If I ain't playing football, I'm probably going to get some hoops in, going to get some buckets, some open runs, stuff like that.
You like the hoop a little bit, okay?
Yes, sir. I like to play the game, stuff like that. Still play 2K, Marvel Hour, stuff like that. And I like to play pickleball. So if I'm not playing football, I don't got nothing to do, I'm probably doing one of the 3 things I just named: playing a game, pickleball, or playing some basketball.
Still being competitive, still being out. I feel like playing pickleball and playing basketball, because you're 6'7", 300 pounds is what they got you listed as. Low over 300. You a big boy, DJ.
Yes, sir.
You a big old dude. So if you are telling me and telling everyone that's watching or maybe watching the clips, because that's gonna be something clip, because dog fans are gonna be, oh, we got a 6'7" dude that's coming to the squad and he's agile. Because you got to be pretty agile. I saw your clip that you were like, man, I miss hooping or whatever, and you was dunking. Do you think that playing basketball has helped your athletic ability playing tackle?
Yeah, so I feel like it definitely has. Because playing basketball, you got to move your feet, you got to shuffle. I feel like that helps you play football, kick stepping, and stuff of that nature. You know, I played basketball my whole life, so I feel like that helped my footwork, my athleticism. Yeah, sir, stuff like that.
Is Erica your cousin? Can you see my chat?
Yeah, that's my auntie right there.
Okay, what's up, Auntie? Hope you're having a great day. Big, you should have saw he was 4, the size of an 8-year-old. Damn, we found out what gender we're having of our baby. Baby, man, it's so hard not to tell folks the gender. There are friends of BKS that know, but man, the baby's tracking right. I was thinking God was going. We thought it was going to be a gender. I was thinking God may throw us a curveball, and I was like, I'm interviewing DJ tomorrow. That's like I said 6'5", and then I saw you were 6'7". I was like, damn. I was like, maybe we get us a Georgia commit. And my wife was like, Georgia? Not around here. Not around here. Not in LSUville. Now, you got any questions for me? Anything you want to ask me? Anything like that?
No, sir. Appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate you, DJ. I'm looking forward to keeping up with your squad, man. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I wouldn't take too much of your time today. Just because I know, you grinding. It's summertime. I don't know when y'all go back to school officially in high school, but I'm sure it's next month. When do y'all go back in Oak Grove? Like the middle of August, the beginning of August, or what? Because different places in the state be different.
We go back next week.
You go back to school next week?
I go back next Friday.
Dang. how's your summer conditioning for football been? Like do y'all have two-a-days anymore? Is it like one long practice day? Like how did that work? How does your summer conditioning for football work?
We do three days a week, probably like 3 hour long practice. We do conditioning like 2-3 times a week. I don't think we can really do 2-a-days no more. I think that's been gone. But yeah, so that's how our stuff works.
Okay. When's y'all's first game of the season, DJ? I looked at your schedule, but I didn't see the exact date.
Our Jamboree is August 22nd. Our first official game is August 28th.
Okay. So we almost a month out from the first game, getting to strap it up with your guys. Is there anything you want people to know about your team, about your team, or any players on the team that I did not name that's one of y'all's 4-3 stars that you think deserves a shout out before we get out of here today?
We got a couple of them dogs in our team. Our running back, Roman Causey, he had a couple of great offers along with like Kellen, D-line, Pedro Anderson. Also, he got a couple of offers like that. But all around, we have a real talented team. Keep a lookout for Oak Grove this year. It's going to be real interesting to watch.
I hope so, man. The fact that y'all play up here, though, I think that's really cool, DJ, man. I think it's the little ways, like PJ Woodland being in Oak Grove. I knew the kid was from Mississippi. I didn't realize he was from Oak Grove, though. Like, that was cool for me last night. I see a lot of the chat. There's been some Dog Nation in the chat. There was a Dogs Edit page that said welcome DJ earlier. In the chat, if there's 10 people in the chat right now, if anybody has a question for DJ, I'll let the chat ask a question, and then we'll let DJ get on to his studiousness that he's got to get on. What's your GPA?
I think my last year about 3.5.
Okay, so you're smart too. Okay. Do you know what you want to go to Georgia academically for?
I kind of want to do something like chiropractic.
Okay.
Yeah, chiropractic.
DJ, you ever got a pancake? That's Jay Carr, former Fighting Tiger of LSU, a legend, and played in a Super Bowl. Jalen Collins is in the chat. Welcome in, Unc. Jalen actually lives right around the corner from my in-laws, and I didn't know that for years until I was like, hey, I recognize that pond. Somebody asked, KJ in the chat asked, have you ever gotten a pancake?
Yes, I have gotten a pancake before.
I mean, you're 6'7", man. A lot of those guys, do you like last year, right? Did you play anybody that you thought just genuinely matched your physicality?
Germantown, they had a guy, he was around by like at least 6'3", 6'4", probably even 6'5" for real. He was pretty solid. Yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah, they pretty good at Germantown, Oh, me. Because that's what I was thinking about. I was watching your film. I was like, this dude just looked bigger and stronger than just about everybody. And that's where the iron sharpens iron. That's where the playing against a guy that's going like Devin is to Oklahoma. That's where playing against the Houstons, playing against the Germantowns helps you. And that'll help you at Georgia. Because it don't get any easier when you're playing against guys like Harold Perkins off the edge. You're not going to play a Harold Perkins, but you're going to play a guy that fast with Harold Perkins' speed. And when you watch guys like that play in person, at least pre-ACL injury, Harold Perkins off the ball is one of the fastest players I've ever seen.
Yeah,
man was a menace. He was a Falcon. But, yeah, I think that's all I got for you, DJ. I cannot thank you enough for your time. The clips and stuff will be out. The whole thing will be out on YouTube. I'll let you know when all that stuff goes live, man. I really appreciate you, DJ. Thank you for your time today, brother. God bless you. Good luck and good health to you and all your guys down there at Oak Grove. And hopefully in October when you come up here to the great state of Tennessee, I get to hang out with you, man. I appreciate the interview, man.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You too.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. That was the interview